listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's So You Think You Can Dance After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's So You Think You Can Dance After Show.
I love the music. Hey guys, Bing is for doing. We're here doing another after show for So You Think You Can Dance, Season 9, Episode 5. I'm here, AJ Gibson, again, bringing you all the latest from the dance world. I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to dance, but luckily I've got a couple of ladies with me who do know what they're talking about. Corrine Williams to my right. How you doing, girl? Don't her lips look good? They be popping tonight. We've got Kristyn Burtt back as well. And we also have a special guest tonight. We have Leif Gantvoort from the upcoming blockbuster, sure to be blockbuster, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Just the reboot.
Yeah.
The reboot.
The reboot. We can actually call that one a reboot.
Yes, it is a reboot.
3 years after the last one was made. Just kidding. But we're gonna talk to him about Spider-Man and all that later. But first, we just want to thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're apparently a big fan of the show.
I am. It's strange. I can't even remember specifically why I started watching it, but it's one of those shows that once you start watching, you're hooked and you can't stop watching.
It is kind of addicting.
Right.
You know, I was telling her earlier, I don't think I watched the first season. I think it was the second season that I came in, but I haven't missed a season
That's
since.
right.
Was Season 1 Benji?
Yes.
Yeah, I did watch Season 1, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot.
Travis
I watched
came out of Season 1 also, didn't he?
Yeah.
Benji and Travis
Yeah,
together.
that's
They
right.
were the finalists.
because Travis's stepbrother or adopted brother Danny was like a few seasons later, I think. Then
Yes.
and then Lacey was on later. The whole family
Schwimmer,
show.
yeah.
It's a family show.
It is.
Why
You're
not?
a family guy, right? You have a daughter.
Yes.
6-year-old.
And that's one of the reasons we started watching it early on.
She likes
is
the show?
Because,
Yeah.
even from a baby, because I think that's right around when we started watching. Not long after she was born. She loved the show. She would dance while the dancers were dancing, and she would sing.
So do you have a dance background? Did you
I
ever
don't.
dance? No?
No.
Do you have your daughter in dance classes yet?
No.
She's just naturally talented.
No, I mean, early on, she took like tap dance and things like that when
Right.
she was in preschool.
Or,
but
I says early on. How old is she?
she's 6.
Back in the day when she was a
Yes,
young
yeah,
one,
no
she
way.
could tap dance when she was 2.
Oh,
They
she-
start
love it.
creative movement at 2.5
That is
for little
so
girls.
wild.
Mostly,
Yeah.
I mean, little boys take it too, but mostly little girls want it 2.5, 3.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I hear something interesting about you. Tell me if this is correct. Are you a Mensa member?
I am.
Really?
Yeah.
So fun.
So I'm just gonna walk out of here right now because I'm
Yeah.
not very smart. No,
But that's the problem. It's not like that. You know, everyone hears that and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, tell us some facts. Tell us
Yeah.
that." And it's like it has nothing to do with that.
really?
Yeah. I mean, I know a little trivia, but
Good
that's
at taking
that's it.
tests.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's
I'm good
actually-
at problem solving. Like you put a bunch of stuff here on the table that I have to put together in some way. I can do that. but
Yeah.
that's about.
I'm kind of good at stuff like that.
Yeah,
How could I become a Mensa member? How do we figure? How
You can take the test. You
Yeah,
can take the
Really?
test.
Yeah, it was a fluke. Like, you know, it was at the time there were all these online tests going around, you know, test your IQ
Right.
and all this stuff. And I was like, all right, I'll do it. And I scored high and I thought, okay, let's see how far this crazy train goes.
Right.
And I took the at-home Mensa test, scored high. I was like, this is ridiculous. And I went and I took the test with them and I got the results and I was in. I was like, what is going on?
You're on the Mensa website then.
That is crazy.
fantastic.
I tried to take an IQ test one time on Facebook, and it told me that George W. Bush is smarter than me. So I did not believe a word of it. So on that note, we're going to dive into this
Sorry.
episode. I know, right?
sorry.
So we're in Vegas finally.
Yeah.
We've had weeks and weeks and weeks of auditions. It feels. I thought we'd been doing this for at least 6 or 7 weeks. This is episode 5.
Yeah.
It's going on and on.
Cinco.
I love the show, but I hate the auditions.
We're limping. Like I said,
Yeah.
we're limping to top 20. We are limping to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Or we're getting a concussion on the way to Los Angeles. Something's happening.
A lot happened tonight. But it all starts off. Initially, they have Nigel tells him he's going to have massive cuts immediately because there are 181 dancers who make it to
too
Vegas.
many.
That's a lot of dancers.
Nice,
And there's spots for 20 dancers. Is that right?
2-0.
Top 20.
Yeah, they just love handing out those tickets though. They're just like, you go to
They
Vegas.
get so they get so ticket happy.
They send your mom to Vegas.
Yes.
Like everyone goes to Vegas.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the crew, what were they, the Dragon House crew?
Yeah.
They all made it through to Vegas, and
Yeah.
we said this before. If the order had been reversed, and I think had
Cyrus
had he gone
gone
first,
first,
and then the other two guys had gone after
Then
him, I don't
might
think
not
they
have.
would have made it.
That's a possibility.
Well, it's to create a story.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're doing here.
Well, their
Good
story.
television.
to keep us watching week after week
And the
after
thing
week.
is, they call it a Dragon House, but it was an apartment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lived in an apartment.
Yeah, an
Okay.
apartment with like 13
studio.
people living in
Yeah.
like a 2-bedroom, which is interesting to me.
Dragon apartment.
That's how we live
In
out here
Atlanta.
in LA. Like,
I know, but
it's
they're
your
living in
life.
Atlanta, so they're paying
It
like
is affordable.
$15 a month for rent.
Yeah, right?
True.
Fantastic. Well, the episode starts off with Hampton,
Yes.
the Exorcist Williams. Are you related?
Oh.
Same last name?
Actually, no.
No, all right.
Just because we got the same
All
skin.
right, okay. You do, I knew. I wasn't even saying. I was saying
don't
the,
do
you have the
me.
same
Don't-
last name.
don't do.
He light skinned. He way light skinned. No, but he starts off. He does his thing, and Adam Shankman cries, and then Tice Diorio
Always
cries.
cries.
Everybody's
Mary
crying.
cries.
But here's the thing. It's like, you know, you hear his story and what he's supposed to do, and you're like, that's ridiculous. But then you watch, and
it's kinda-
everybody's moved to tears, and you're like, maybe it's
He's
something
kind of incredible.
Except
yeah,
me.
it's like he does.
I
no,
wasn't
but that's what I'm
moved.
saying. But like, if you're in the room with him, he claims that he can pull this out of you. Maybe he can. It's like you want to believe,
Right.
And you've seen the evidence.
It's
there
like if
on
you've
the
ever been to an
screen.
art museum and everybody's like looking at a piece of art and they're like crying about it. They're so emotionally moved, and all of a sudden you feel like you should be as well. So
Yeah.
you start to put yourself in a mental state where you're like, oh, I see it now.
Well, if Adam's crying, then I should be crying.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
And they do try to one up each other all the
Yeah.
time on that show. It's
But
like,
I mean, like
oh.
Adam
The bigger the
Shankman's-
tear.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Shankman sobs at the sight of a tissue. I mean,
That's
come
true.
on, seriously.
Clearly.
So
Yeah.
does Mary.
Or box office reports.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that
Oh,
later.
yeah.
Oh, he went there
Oh,
already.
leave.
I'm
Ow.
So then we have Janelle Isis. She's the belly dancer, and she is. I wrote down
Sexy.
fierce. I wrote down oozes sex and confidence. That girl.
She's
Yeah.
hot.
And I don't know who made that big gold lame cape thing she was dancing with.
Her
but
mother.
She used it. She got their money's worth out of it.
yeah, they used it a couple times throughout the
Bringing it
episode.
back.
I was
It was
impressed.
in the group dance, too. I loved it, too.
Yes.
She was in the background.
She's crazy.
What
I
can we
love
do?
her.
What can we do?
Yeah.
Oh, the gold lame. Bring
Yes.
the gold lame.
Yes.
The wings.
Distract.
We need the wings.
Distract with the cape.
She's fantastic though.
hot.
Oh, yeah.
She's hot.
Tice was a huge fan, too. He was
Yeah.
like, I love her.
She's stunning.
She is.
And I've seen a lot of belly dancers. I've been to Moroccan restaurants a lot. I spent time in Morocco. I've seen belly dancers,
Yep.
but she's legit.
She's hot.
Sometimes belly dancers they got a little bit too much belly. I know
they
they're
have the
supposed
belly.
to.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the style.
But she-
yeah.
She has abs.
She
She
definitely
could.
toned up from her audition though too, because
She
her
did.
belly did not look quite like that in the auditions.
It's
or I would have remembered it.
bronzer.
Bronzer.
Yeah.
You know what else it is?
She's sprayed on that tan, like, ow, ow.
It's also diet and exercise, Corrine. I'm sure that's what it was, and bronzer, and a good spray tan.
You can spray on the six pack, but you can't get rid of the love
The
handles.
No, you
And
can't.
she was clearly very
me.
leaned out.
I've been sprayed before. You cannot get rid of those.
Yeah, I
they
could
don't
see.
go anywhere. Exercise and diet. So after the first day, 51 people go home already.
Bye-bye.
So we're down to what, 130, I guess? Is
Yes.
that right? I'm
Yep.
really good with math. I'm not a
Still
Mensa
too many.
member, but I can
Is that
subtract
right, Lee?
51 from 181.
Yeah, I'm not even going to go there.
So we start day 2, and we've got the first round of actual choreography with a couple of alumni, Twitch and Comfort.
I love
come back
them.
to, and I love
Twitch
So
is great.
fun.
Twitch is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I'm you don't like Twitch?
Oh, no, I love it.
Oh,
said
okay.
yeah.
You're like, yes, and you're nodding your head no. I'm confused over here.
No, and he's one of those
Mensa
guys.
It's a Mensa trick, right?
He's one of those guys that when he started, I remember, you know, he kind of discovered himself through the
Yes, he
show. So you
did.
got to go on that journey with him. And
Yeah.
by the end, you fall in love with him.
I
And
see.
now-
Well, and Comfort was kind of that way too. Like
She
when
was,
Comfort came
yeah.
onto the show, she was kind of a street performer, trying to she danced with guys her whole life, I think, and never wasn't really girly girl
Yeah.
at all. And I remember the first time she did like ballroom, and I was kind of like, look at you, you're pretty.
But I
She
never
just didn't
really
have any
warmed
technical
into
training.
Comfort that
Yeah.
much. You know what I mean?
You never
It
got comfortable with her?
It took me a long time. It was like not until she came back and helped with choreography and seasons later that I was like, yeah,
He really
I
does.
see
He
it.
really
Why?
does know the show.
I don't know why it is. I don't know why that is.
I
It was
loved
just
her.
yeah. It was just one of those things
Because
where, like
she's a
where there's
sister.
there's
Yeah, right, she
certain
assisted.
dynamics about people that you just click in with, and sometimes
Yeah.
it
Right.
just doesn't click. And she was one of those that never really clicked for me until after
Yeah.
her
I see
season.
that.
That happens sometimes.
I see like when I
still
look
like
at I look at Cyrus on this season, and he reminds me of like a young Twitch.
Yes.
He's got a personality. He's a lot more to him than just his dance.
And he's eager to learn.
Yes.
Which is the big key.
and
you
it's
know
something
what I
that we
mean?
see in some of these other people coming up that
Yeah.
they're not so eager, and they have this
Quitters.
attitude that drives me crazy.
Yeah, and
With
Cyrus
her.
has heart, and I think that that's why you sit there and you just really associate with him.
Yeah.
You're just like, I love him. I don't know him, but I just want him to succeed. So
When he puts on the dance shoes, and tries to get through that choreography, I'm just like,
cute were his little dance shoes.
But you know what though? It says a lot about somebody that they're actually to stick it out and stay
Yeah.
on the stage. Because some of these people, including a couple of his, one of his
Andre.
roommates, Andre, his roommate, quit.
Peaced
Right
out.
away.
And then Hampton, the exorcist, he quit.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, you guys, you had to know
But
this was going to
Hampton
happen.
wasn't part of
Because
his crew.
even though, yes, they invited
Hampton wasn't,
too
but yeah,
many,
Andre was, and then Boris was cut later.
even
Yep.
though they invite too many to Vegas, it's still like there's 2 more tickets that somebody that really wants it and really is going to put in
Yeah.
the time is
Yeah.
being robbed of that opportunity.
Absolutely.
And that's
So
what
true.
bothers
That's
me the most.
frustrating. They cut a lot of people though in this first round of choreography. I mean, these kind of make sense though. Some of these next ones, like the praying mantis guy, he
Yeah,
got
bye.
cut. It's hip hop. I mean,
the Bream, the Mama too, and hip hop
Yeah.
is really hard. And I was trained classically in ballet and also musical theater type of jazz. And I said if I had to start off with hip hop, I would have been out that first round.
yeah, it's really kind of a crapshoot, really, to
Really
like what
hard.
the order of the choreography. Because like if you're a ballroom dancer and like you have to go through hip hop and contemporary and all these other styles before you get to your own style, you might be phenomenal as a ballroom dancer, but you might not make it there.
But
that's just
the
it.
same.
Yeah.
That's like if you're a hip hopper and
Yeah.
you have to go through ballet
Yeah,
first.
so that's the thing
Bye,
for
Hampton,
anybody.
that's why Hampton went home.
frustrating.
But whether it's cut on day 1 or cut on day 3, you're going to get cut.
You're gonna
Yeah.
get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hip hop is the death of me. I'd be out.
Yeah,
Done.
right?
Done.
And the funniest thing is, like, I used to think that hip hop would be the easiest. I'm like, oh, I could pick up hip hop. I don't know. That's a tough one.
No, yeah.
Are you rhythmic?
I'm rhythmic, yeah.
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 You got some moves.
Yeah, I got some moves. All right.
But also, like it depends on what type of style
Mm-hmm.
dance too, because ballet has a tendency to be a little more light and airy, where like hip hop is more grounded, similar to modern. So modern dancers are oftentimes good hip hop dancers,
Mm-hmm.
where ballet dancers and hip hop don't usually go hand in hand.
Ballet dancers, I feel like, are so inside their heads and so like about the technique always. And to do hip hop, you really kind of have to let go of it all.
You have to let go. Different type
down.
of you kind of have to let your technique go a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's a different type of movement, and you're counting in eights, and oftentimes hip hop, you're counting in syncopated rhythms and things like that.
Well,
so.
she just went way over
Yeah,
my head now.
that's-
I
Sorry.
have
You
no
just have
idea
to
what you're
feel
talking
it.
about.
Really technical.
I just know if
You
I
just
like
have to
something or
feel
not.
it. Right.
If it looks pretty, I like
Right,
that. It
right.
looks nice.
So after this round, apparently it looks like 33. Oh, so we're down to 97. Yeah, 33
Yes.
more people get cut out of this round.
Bye.
They're going quick.
Yeah.
They're dropping like flies.
Yeah.
They were going quick, and then all of a sudden it slowed down.
Yeah.
A lot of people went through on the Broadway round.
Yeah, like everyone. Cyrus made it through that round again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep updating
Praise
you guys
the
on
Lord.
Cyrus because this episode was all about, what was her name, Alexa? Or
Alexa.
Alexa,
Oh,
Cyrus, and
Cyrus.
Amelia.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
With the hair.
Amelia. Yeah.
I don't like that haircut.
I'm
Amelia.
big time Cyrus fan though.
Yeah,
So-
I think.
Me too.
I mean, they're definitely pushing that.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel that in the
You
show,
can
but
see
it
it.
works, and I think everybody's going to be a fan of his.
Yeah.
Rooting for him. They're setting him up.
Yeah, and Alexa also, like last year, she was the last girl cut before the top 10 for the girls, before the top 20 for the whole
Yeah.
group, correct? And they played on that a lot. And Adam Shankman said in the Broadway round, he's like, "You're just dead in the face. I'm over your beautiful looks. Done."
You know what was tough with watching Alexa is that she has the technique and she has the foundation there, but she muscles her way through everything. And I think she is in her head, so she's just kind of like losing that emotion of everything in the extension through her body and things like that. And so she's focusing here. She's muscling her way through the movements, and it was frustrating to watch because you're like, you are so naturally talented. It's
Right.
disgusting.
Didn't we also say she's 19 though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she's
was going
only
to say.
19.
I mean, that you
That's
see
hard.
that theme in a lot of these shows, a lot of these talent shows where they're auditioning, is that the younger people, it's just unfortunate that they don't understand it's not just about the technique or it's not just about this. It's about a performance. It's about connecting with your audience and making them feel something. And it's so hard for somebody that young
Yeah.
to get that.
Without
Like,
the
I
life,
didn't
yeah,
get
without
that
the life
for years.
experience and everything else, like she doesn't look like she's had a really difficult life. She's a really beautiful blonde-haired girl who's been dancing
No.
since she was 2. I mean,
You don't have to have a difficult life just to convey like emotion or passion. And I think that she is very passionate about dance. However, I just think she's one of those people that concedes her feelings and her emotions. Like, everybody's not gonna cry just because, oh, I'm on the show. Oh, tear, tear, tear. Like, it's not gonna happen.
But I think things have come easy to her. She's got the technique already naturally, and she's pretty. And I'm like, we wouldn't be hearing her story, and they wouldn't be pushing her through if she didn't look like that. I honestly do believe that.
I just don't want them to beat her up, though. Like, just because, oh, we're not seeing enough emotion.
I kind of like that.
I don't like that.
I respond
Toughen
that way.
her up.
Yeah, toughen her up.
I was going to say, I think it's. I think they ultimately believe in her, and they understand that this is something they have to do to get her there. You know what I mean? They have to beat her down to build her back up.
Like, let her.
Which is very.
That's
a lot
hazing.
of dance teachers. No, a lot of dance teachers do
Hazing.
it. When you're in ballet, they beat you down, they build you back up, and it's that mentality, and it's why ballet dancers, especially, will dance through injuries, and they sit there and they don't eat. It's just you keep on going, and she needs a little bit of that. She needs a kick in the butt.
I don't think they'd be pushing her if they didn't believe in her, if they didn't feel like she could handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
And she is at that age where she's 19, she's resilient. When you're a 19-year-old, you can take on anything.
She's
I feel
not
like
16.
Everything.
She's
yeah,
good.
and so I think they're pushing her, and like I think Debbie Allen said, I forget what round it was, but she made a comment. She's like, that girl could win this show.
Yes, she did at the end.
So if they didn't,
But Adam said, "Really?"
yeah, well,
It was Tice, I think.
was
You
Tice.
think?
Tice.
You think?
oh, Tice.
His
I don't-
snarky little. I love his snarky comp. That's why I like Tice.
so cute.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we need a little snark. I really do.
I love
Yeah, you can't be
Tice.
nice all the time.
Or could he be?
No.
Could he be nice sometimes though? Like I don't
I
know.
think he's nice.
He did put a lot of people through his choreography, and he was going on and on about how difficult it was,
Yeah.
and then everybody made it through,
I feel like I could have did it.
except for somebody who broke my heart, Teddy.
Oh,
What
Teddy,
happened to Teddy?
year after year after year, he's on the show, and he did not make it again.
He was negative Nelly when he
He
went out.
was
He had quit.
terrible.
He was
he
frustrated.
had a bad attitude.
He had bad acne. Wait, what'd you say? I was like, proactive. Come on, I've seen you for 4 seasons now. Like, get that shit fixed.
It works.
Right, it does. I have it. It's
You
fantastic.
did not say that.
And if he
about
need, if he,
him.
maybe he needs to buy some skincare products. Maybe he could do that on Amazon. I don't know. Look at that segue. That's right.
Or those little carts at the mall, they sell
yes,
it.
Yes, but it'd be better to buy it on Amazon. Come on, help me out right now. I'm transitioning.
yes.
Hey guys, if you guys have any purchases that you'd like to be making on Amazon, you could do it through AfterBuzzTV.com. There's a banner on the top right corner. You could probably buy bulk Proactive on Amazon. I'm sure you can. You can buy everything on
You
Amazon.
can.
wholesale.
And by doing that, you help us. You help keep the studio running. You keep the lights on. You keep us here, and we get to keep doing what we're doing and have fantastic guests like Leif here. So we want to encourage you guys to go to Amazon through our website, please, and thank you.
Not the cart at the mall.
Yeah, not the card. Wow.
I love that kiosk.
Way to go, KB.
Yeah, nice work. Nice work. So, our next round of choreography, we've got Sonia.
So,
She has a.
I love her.
Which is weird. She did a jazz routine.
I do love her.
I thought
yeah.
Tice was a jazz choreographer.
I think he does.
He flips.
Jazz
Yeah,
Okay.
his
Mixes it
foundation
up.
though is Broadway. That's where he started,
Okay.
and I'm going to recommend a documentary. I think you and I had talked about it.
Yes.
Every Little Step. It's about the revival of a chorus line,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you can watch Tice get a little taste of his own medicine in that
Really?
documentary. It's fantastic. It's an hour and 15 minutes. It's a quick documentary, and you guys will love it.
What's the
Probably-
name
Does he
again?
cry?
Every Little Step.
Is he
Every
like?
little
You could probably buy it
Yeah,
on
on
Amazon.
Amazon, you can,
Through
actually.
AfterBuzzTV.com.
Yes, you can.
Click on the right hand.
Nice recovery, Kristen. Nice recovery.
I'm working hard for you.
So 23 people get cut in the Broadway round, and we move on to the jazz round with Sonia. She's one of my favorite choreographers
Me
by far.
too.
She's just crazy. I think did she do the Hummingbird one a few seasons back? Was that her?
I
With
believe so.
Hawk and
Yeah.
she does like
Yes,
weird trippy shit.
I loved it.
Love
Yep.
her.
Yes.
She's just a genius, and she's just out there.
She's
Yeah.
like somebody that I'm not sure I could sit through a meal with.
Oh no,
necessarily,
God no! I would
but
never want to hang out with her.
As an artist,
Oh
you're
my
like, I love
Yeah.
to watch what she does.
From
I
afar,
would
it's
love to
fantastic.
sit down. You just don't
Yeah.
say anything. You just watch her. You know, it's like
Yeah.
a painting. You'd be like,
She fills in all the blanks.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Just let her do her thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just silence.
I'm not saying I'm going to turn it down if I have the opportunity.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, Sonia, if you're watching or listening, if you want to hang out with me, I will hang out with you, and I will do my hair like this if you want me to, or I'll shave my
He
head.
likes
I
the
don't care.
The bang.
Yeah, it hides everything. My hosting hair.
I love it.
You guys are welcome. So we've got Shafiq Westbrook up in the jazz round. He went home. He had a terrible attitude, and he just kept bringing down his partner. He was partnered with the
Bacon.
the
bacon girl, Danielle.
Danielle, yeah.
Danielle.
And she, God love her, she was trying so hard to be supportive of him, and he just had a bad attitude. I don't like people like that at all. He's exactly the opposite of what Cyrus was.
Yeah.
Because Cyrus struggled through a lot of this choreography as well, but he kept a positive, a positive attitude the entire time. And this Shafiq Westbrook, and he kept saying, when they eliminated him, and Sonya told him, she said, you need to adjust your attitude if you're ever going to be a dancer. Yep. And he even said, he's like, I'm so much better than all these people here. I'm like,
no, you're not.
No, you're not. You're not. And you're a jerk.
Yeah.
Like, and I understand a lot of times that comes from an insecurity, it comes from another place, but like, grow up.
Yeah.
Like, that sort of attitude will not benefit you at anything in life.
But I think you said it. It's like, have you watched the show before? Yeah. Are you aware of what you're getting yourself involved in?
Take some classes. Once you make it to Vegas, you've got a while. Take some classes.
Or it's not just take some classes. Come in with the right attitude. Like, there has been no successes with that attitude.
Ever.
You know?
At anything in life.
But he's one of those people that doesn't have that self-awareness and never will. Like, it's rare for someone like that that'll learn a lesson.
He will.
You know what? Maybe after
you fall so many times, then I mean, you have to.
You know what? Right now, he could be getting that self-awareness. You know,
watching this.
I never talk about this, but I was on a reality show also, and afterwards, I really learned a lot about myself. The way that I communicate with people, or at least the way I communicated with people back then, wasn't exactly. My message was oftentimes lost in the translation. Like I would come across as a jerk. And I think in my mind, things are very, I'm like, look, I'm just being straightforward. That's it. But I'm just being blunt, but I'm really just being rude. And I didn't realize it until I saw myself, and I was like, that's how people perceive me? Because I was like, to me, I'm like, I always assume everybody understands my personality. And they don't really, according to the blogs. A lot of people really hated me. And that was hard to handle. Because I'm like, I'm a nice guy. My intentions were never to be mean or hurtful to anyone, ever.
But being straightforward sometimes.
Yes.
You gotta lighten
it hurts people, and I didn't realize it. And
especially
maybe
with some fancy editing.
Yeah, I know, right? I got a very fair edit, though. People say it's the editing, but I'm like, you know what? I did say all those things.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
So that was you.
Soften the delivery.
Yeah.
Soften the delivery.
It did help make it more dramatic that they didn't show the stuff that led up to it, which frustrated me. But I was like, yeah, I took ownership of my part in the entire situation. Hopefully he can do the same thing.
So that's you saying sorry to everybody.
Yeah, right. I'm not. I know. Trust me. I don't apologize for shit. But maybe Shafiq Westbrook can learn something from this.
See.
Yeah.
When we're here next year,
he will grow up. He will grow. I have faith in you.
And then they have a couple of people they asked to dance for their lives.
Yes.
Rachel, our stripper girl. And you know, I said I can't believe she made it this far. I could not believe that she was at this point. Honestly, her technique was never that good. It was just
she's the burlesque girl, right?
Sex, yeah.
She had the white on last week.
Yeah. And did she actually made it through this round?
Well, no, they made her dance for her life.
Dance for her life, and then she didn't
Then they cut her, and they told her that, like, look, we know that you can do sexy.
Yeah,
you have to learn something else. We already get it.
Put some clothes on.
Yeah.
Play against type.
Yeah. I just had this conversation with a friend today, actually. Sometimes less is more. Yeah. Like, you don't, just because you've got it, you don't have to always flaunt it.
True.
You know what I mean?
Well, it just was annoying to watch the sex thing again. I was like, what else can you do?
Yeah, it's just
what else?
Show us something else. I've got a 2-pack under here, a 2-pack. I only got these little ones up here. The rest of it's all like 1 2. Maybe that's like the 3-pack, I guess. I ain't showing it off. I got my shirt on.
Hallelujah.
Oh, girl, you wearing a see-through shirt today. What are you talking about?
But she's in shape.
Yeah, she is in shape.
Get your life.
She just told me. She told me. But so hopefully, again, this girl, like, she's a pretty girl and she's talented. Hopefully she can take something from this and maybe learn. And, you know, it's hard. I think she's a pretty blonde. It's easy to go to your thing. Your one trick in the bag that you've got.
Yep.
You know, because it probably has worked for her up to this point.
Yep. And she has a similar story to Alexa. She's not as talented though as Alexa.
Yeah.
And that's where we saw the differences right then and there. So that's why they were pushing Alexa more, and Rachel they're going to.
And she kind of begged him too to let her dance.
She did with a good tear.
Yeah. She was like, "Look, I know I'm a star." And I'm just like.
But that was her thing. It was always about being a star. It was never about
dance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
True.
And the problem with throwing yourself out there that much is you really have to deliver. You know, you can't beg for that opportunity and not step up huge.
Well, in the first half of her solo routine, she was like lying on the front of the stage rolling around. And she was like biting a red tie the whole time. I'm like,
and threw it.
Yeah, what are you doing with that tie?
Awkward.
And that's not even real burlesque. Like, whatever she was doing, if you're going to do
That's
burlesque,
called
do
the
burlesque.
Cheetah Club.
Yeah, well, she said it.
biting the tie is the cheetah club.
Apparently.
You know, it's her strip routine. Come on.
Oh, and then poor Danielle.
rats.
Danielle did make it through. She's the bacon girl,
Bacon.
right? Danielle. I must say that last week or 2 weeks ago after audition, I went home. I literally, on the way home, I stopped at Ralph's and I bought bacon. And I tweeted Kristyn, I'm like, Kristyn, I'm eating a half a pack of bacon for a snack right now.
Like, you're so mean.
At like 1 in the morning.
I was so hungry.
Yeah, it was really, really good, I
And
must
straight
say.
up bacon, not turkey bacon.
No,
Oh,
No.
Turkey bacon has
Real bacon.
way too much sodium.
You can get the turkey bacon that has less sodium.
I bet it's
like
still not that-
50%.
Doesn't
If you're gonna
taste
do
like,
it, do
you
it.
just go to bacon. I
Yeah.
don't like turkey bacon. It's just like
go to
turkey.
bacon.
When it,
go to
yeah, when it
bacon.
comes to
That's
bacon,
the
there's
slogan.
nothing to it but to do it.
go to
Tweet
bacon.
that.
Just go to bacon.
Trader Joe's apple smoked bacon.
Oh Lord,
That
I'm going
sounds
to do it again
good.
tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But so Danielle, the bacon girl,
Bacon.
she decides to go back out after she's already made it through, and she helps out Giovanni, correct?
Yes.
And during the very first part of the choreography, he
Gets kicked.
nails her, clocks her in the head with his foot.
And not just a little kick, like full-fledged bang.
Yeah.
Knocks,
An
the
aggressive
MMA
kick.
type that knocks a
Yes.
person out. You know?
Yeah. And she made it through the
MMA.
entire. She looked like she was going to start crying.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually surprised she
That's
didn't
her
have a
head.
concussion. I'm
Yeah.
very surprised at that because she got whacked.
Yeah, because they took her away to the hospital, and she didn't get back till later that night. She was late for the group numbers.
So she had to force her way on a team.
Yeah, she forced her way right onto that team. Like,
And right out the door.
That's one of the things that I question sometimes with the show, because they're pretty strict about this, that they don't make special exceptions. But sometimes it's like when it's out of your
Yeah.
control, like that was not her fault.
Yeah.
She did nothing but try to help somebody.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe a little special consideration can
Yeah.
factor into that just to
Yeah.
help her.
Yeah.
Because next
Yeah.
she was gone.
yeah, and I was kind of like, really? Like, she had a couple hours. She came straight from the hospital, had a couple hours, and had to learn that choreography, and like, that's just kind of weird. Like,
And it kind of set their whole team back too. That
Yeah.
was the other thing that wasn't necessarily fair because then they had to teach her the choreography before
yeah.
moving on.
And the way that,
redo it.
and at least I don't know if this is actually the way it went down, but the way they showed it, they had them up first. I'm
Yes.
Like, let them go last. Give them a few
Yes.
extra hours to learn the choreography
Yeah.
out in the the lobby, and then bring them in
Yeah.
because they showed them first. I was like, I don't know if that's actually how it went down, but
But that's how we saw it.
yeah. So it makes-
And there was one other little thing about that I bring into question. Again, there was an opportunity there for her to step forward and say, this was my fault. They had their routine. You know what I mean? And I kind of would have
No.
liked to have seen that maybe.
and the thing is, maybe it did happen. We don't
Maybe.
know.
We
Who
don't know.
knows?
Yeah.
The
You
old
know?
fancy editing on reality shows.
Yeah, but I'm like, I wouldn't throw myself under the bus for my team. I don't know them.
No.
I mean, I've known them for a day or two. Like, well, I wouldn't.
But I mean, remember, they started these group numbers too at 10 p.m. at night. I just mentioned this briefly. I was like, is this a union show? Because this is a lot to ask. You've been dancing all day long. Now you have to start dancing again, form teams, choreograph, get it together, and then perform it in the morning.
That's why they do it, though. They do the same thing on American Idol when they do the group numbers during
Yeah.
auditions. They
That's
make
true.
them go through the night and try to like learn something, so they lose their mind and they start fights.
It's
And
good television.
It's good
Yeah.
television.
Yeah.
Like on Idol, it really
Gives us
annoys
something
me
to talk
because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, the whole competition has nothing to do with that
At all.
You know, it's all solos.
Mm-hmm.
Most, the whole way through, but yet you're making them work as a group. There's
Yeah.
nothing to do with the competition.
yeah,
you've
because they never get
created.
judged in group numbers.
no.
the
I
entire
mean,
season.
this is a little bit more because you do work with partners. You
Right.
do work in groups, numbers. It does happen, but yeah, it still feels a little bit
the whole
like
group dance thing is a little weird to me. The twist, though, this year was that they let them actually pick their groups. Groups of 4 or 5, and they didn't do that in years past, I guess.
No.
Correct.
But again, it's good television. It's not necessarily
It's
the
for
ratings.
right thing to do.
Helps
Right.
us to have something to talk about,
Yeah.
like we're doing now.
But I think
Yeah.
they were hoping for like a little bit more fighting over choosing the teams, but
Yeah.
that didn't seem to happen. So
They gelled pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
And
for
some
when
of the
things got bad.
some of them were great. I thought that what was the one group number that was later on? The girl, Aubrey, and the 4 guys at the
prom.
prom. I love that number. I thought it was really cool.
High schoolers.
Yeah.
High schoolers.
that was the one I'm like, they're gonna hate this, and you're like, no, they're gonna love this. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you were right.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of cool.
Simple concept,
it
well
was
executed.
beautiful.
Yeah.
She was great though.
But Danielle
was
then
really
did at the
good.
same time. She did get cut right before that. The
Yeah,
bacon girl, she's gone.
She was gone.
Bacon's gone.
And Tice finally tells Alexa, again, another moment for Alexa. Tice tells her he's over her beauty as well. Like, everybody keeps telling her, like, look, you're pretty, we're over it.
Yeah.
And,
Poor
you could just tell that she was just trying, It's hard for, like, it just takes something to click, because you can't tell somebody just get it, just understand it. Then it's not doesn't work.
Well, I think you have to think about the environment that they're actually in at that time. I mean, you're not your normal self. You're not really showing your true, authentic personality, and you're under all this pressure. You're trying to stand out. It is a competition. So, I mean, are you really going to be like authentic AJ? Or you're going to try to, like, you're in your head trying to remember this routine.
Here's the thing. I'm always authentic AJ. I don't know how to be anything other than, which is why the bloggers hated me.
They were like, hello.
But I'm saying there are some aspects of you that may be different.
Yeah.
You know, just like when you were on your show, you probably were, like, more aggressive than normal.
Yeah, I mean, it was a competition.
You know,
but I'm pretty aggressive in my life too. But it definitely like ups the ante and puts you under such pressure that you have to react a certain way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
but Alexa was like, Alexa just was completely like retreated, and that was frustrating because I'm like, where's your fight? You're here. You made it so far last year. Where's your fight this year? And I don't understand where that disconnect was between last year and this year.
Yeah. Why go through that entire year to come back to this point to do the same thing you did last year?
Yeah.
But I think for every artist, they have to, it's hard to find that moment where it clicks, like you said. You know what I mean? It's always about, you can work on your technique, you can work on everything that you're told to work on, but until you own it, until you find a way to make it your own, it just doesn't work. And everybody has to go through their own personal struggles to find what that is.
Yeah, it's a process. Everybody's process is different.
Yeah. But when it happens, you know it happens. Like,
and then
that was it. And
you never go back then from that point.
I mean, I don't think you ever go back as far as you were, but I think you can fall off a little bit, and then it's like about re-engaging that click. Just finding that thing.
Like Oprah always says, when you know better, you do better. I love
Your
Miss
aha
Oprah.
moments.
She's given me so many aha moments.
She's got that from
That was from Angela. That was from an interview with her at her house, actually.
Wasn't that nice?
I love me some Oprah and some of that.
Me too.
Oh, Lord. We want to know what you guys think about us. We want to know what you guys think about Leif. He's a fantastic guest so far. He knows more than I do about this show. So if you guys could, I know, right? If you guys go onto iTunes and rate and comment, tell your friends about us. Let us know what you guys think about this Alexa girl. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think that she's going to have a breakthrough? Do you think she'll make it to the top 20? Do you think she deserves to? We want to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys check, I actually get on there and I actually comment and I actually respond to you guys. I don't know if my co-hosts have yet. I haven't noticed. Oh, you haven't been on? I think girl, get on there. But I will get on there and I will respond to you. So please rate us and leave us comments. Also, you can do it on YouTube as well. Watch our videos on YouTube and comment, and I will get back to you. I love that kind of stuff.
I'll comment.
And tell me if you think I'm a jerk. Do I come across as a jerk? If I do, let me know. I'm kidding.
Honest.
Don't tell me, because if you don't like me, I will
tweet me and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So we get through this last round, and then we've got Jason Gilkison. He's the ballroom guy, and it's the cha-cha round. Cha-cha. Cyrus.
This is
little
where
dress
he had his
shoes.
cute little dress shoes.
Yeah.
It was so sweet. So sweet.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, he his one roommate, the one who went home earlier. Yeah, whatever his name is. The first one who quit.
I'm making it up now.
Yeah.
Andre quit.
Andre quit, yeah. Andre quit. Like, he could learn a lot from somebody like Cyrus. Cyrus, there's something about people who, whenever they're in a situation where they might not necessarily be completely comfortable, but they are still willing to give it that old college try, it's really endearing. It's really kind of sexy. Like, people like that.
Yeah.
And they want to be more like that. Whether they're able to do it themselves or not is a totally different story.
True.
Because a lot of times we all are our own worst enemies. We all hold ourselves back. But Cyrus just gave himself over to the process, and he went for it. And he couldn't dance a cha-cha to save his life, but they saw enough there that they gave him the chance to dance for his life, which I thought was great.
And which you knew he was going to give 110%. You knew he was going through.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He's unbelievable.
Love him.
And here's my thing. Whenever they're like, oh, we're going to give you a chance to dance for your life, that's their way of saying, we still want you on the show, and I'll bring it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Are they still doing the same solos over and over again? I know the Rachel girl didn't, but I feel like we've seen a couple of the same solos again.
Well, the one solo, who was it?
Hampton.
Hampton did the same solo.
Hampton did the same one.
Because that's the only way that he knows how to dance.
Yeah.
Cyrus was pretty similar.
He used the same music. He used the same everything.
Same
Cyrus,
hair.
Cyrus changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, Cyrus wasn't, because didn't Cyrus at the end end with him leaning
Yes.
way out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. But he had some kicks on. You see those high tops he was wearing?
He's good.
He's got style.
I liked him with his shirt off.
I love him.
I'm just
Cyrus,
saying.
you got fans.
Hey, shocking. So did I. No, but he fine. Except for those big old holes in his ears.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
It's just weird to me. You can like put your finger through there.
Those are
I don't
gross.
want
And then the middle part is like big as your eye, and it sags.
It's just creepy.
Down to the shoulder. It's like hair.
Oh.
Flip it.
The one thing I will give him though with that is he changes it out. Like it goes with his
I
look.
noticed.
You know, I was like, that I
Yes.
can.
Yeah,
it's-
he's got style.
He's accessorizing with it.
Well, when you're
It's not
paying
just
$15 a month to
Very
live in
nicely.
Atlanta, he's got money to spend on shoes and earrings, apparently.
Don't
got
judge his
35
pockets.
Yeah, that's why.
35
Yeah,
Don't
roommates.
judge his
that's why he's got
pockets.
all those roommates. You're right, exactly. So we can buy new kicks every week. And then Aubrey, Aubrey, the blonde girl who like stood out in the group number with
Who
the
was
with the
that
prom.
hot mess at the end there?
She fell apart. She had a complete meltdown.
I've been
But here's
auditioning
the
for
thing,
4
like
years.
she did good. I didn't think
I
she
thought
did
she
that
was good,
bad.
too.
I said she was good too.
I know. I so did I. I was
And
like,
I
oh,
said she
she's
had
great.
personality. When
So
she
I
was
think that
in.
just all came from surprise. Which
Yeah.
I was surprised. So it felt like
It was a
an
straight up
appropriate
Chernobyl. Like she had a
response.
meltdown.
Yeah.
And she just went off. She's like, for 4 years now, I've been auditioning. I can't book anything. I'm like, maybe it's all a farce then. Maybe it's just all a front. She
Well,
puts
here's the
up to
thing.
get-
I mean, I will give it this again to relate it to my own personal life. Is like when I get told no, I'm usually sitting at home by myself.
Yeah.
So my breakdown isn't televised. You know what I mean?
Right.
So she found out her
You're
dreams
alone.
in that moment were crushed.
Well, and not only was
You know.
hers televised, it was televised with her wearing like a bedazzled bra, a little skirt, and some high heels. So I mean,
with
the
the
poor
flower.
thing.
Pop.
And
Yeah.
I actually think her presentation, this is going to sound, but you know, a lot of times your presentation, she needs to, I'm going to try and say this delicately, she needs to tone up a little
I
bit.
was gonna say lose 10 pounds. That's what I was
She
gonna
needs,
say.
she needs to tone
Those
up.
obliques, yes.
She needs to tone up a little bit. I actually think if she polished her look overall
Mm-hmm.
a little bit with the hair and what she was wearing, because presentation actually plays a lot into it, and especially for ballroom, presentation, besides technique,
Yeah.
is a big part of it.
And when she was doing, they did the one lift where she had to go back and kick over, like, and she was kind of bent at the waist. I'm like, you've got a little cellulite there, and like, and that's fine because she's a really gorgeous girl. But like, if you're going to try to be a dancer, like, you can't look that way. Very few people can pull that off.
Right.
What's her name? Danielle, a few seasons back. She's probably the heaviest dancer they've ever had on the show, and she was stunning. But not a lot of girls can pull that
pull
off.
it off.
Yeah.
And with what she was wearing, it probably made her look heavier than she actually is. She's on television.
What she wasn't wearing. She didn't have a shirt on.
I know she had this little tiny thing, but that's what I'm saying. Like the way she presented herself, I don't think helped her in that round. 'Cause
Yeah.
she did okay, you know, and she sold it and she performed. However, I think in the end, it was.
I mean, in the real world, any girl would kill to have her body, but
Yeah,
like
I
you're
was gonna
dancing
say,
on stage
I mean-
in heels
Yes.
and bra.
No.
it's
Yeah,
a
that's why I was
different-
like, I'm being delicate when I say this
No.
because yeah.
She's a pretty girl. She had a meltdown.
No, and the only thing that bugged me about her was her nails. Did you guys notice the chip
No.
nail polish? And it was black. And I was like, girl, just paint. Take it off and repaint it.
Reapply.
Yes,
A
please.
naked nail would be better than chipped.
Something. I was disgusted.
Oh. Well, she doesn't know any better, apparently.
Well, now she does.
Yeah, and then
Sorry,
also
girl.
in this round, though, finally, Alexa has a breakthrough. She finally, like, they've been, like, over and over. They just beat her down left
But
and right.
here's what I
Alexa.
wondered in that moment. Like, say you're the 5 other people on stage and they're all yelling at Alexa. You know, it's like, come on, those
Yeah.
4 other
I'm
dancers.
with you.
Yeah, it takes exactly. It does.
What
It takes
about
away from
us?
them. Yeah.
A lot of favoritism. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Because the thing is, like, I played sports growing up, and I learned. I think my mom taught me this at a very young age. I understood the difference between criticism and constructive criticism. So when my coaches would get on me, I liked that. Because it means that they see something in me,
Right.
that they see potential there. So I tried to, my entire life, I've tried to keep that mentality. You know, it's when people don't give you any attention. Like if I'm if I don't know if I'm taking like a hosting class or if when I'm just getting ignored, I'm like, ooh, what's wrong? What? You don't even know I'm here right now. That's not good. I'd rather at least bomb and you give me some constructive criticism, so you know that I'm alive.
Right.
You know, as opposed to just thank you. Next.
I know.
That hurts.
Because you're just blending in with the wallpaper.
Yeah. I tried the acting thing for a few years. I got a lot of next, thank you, next.
Yeah.
Not so good.
But like, you know, again, with this scenario in my world, it's like when I go in on a group audition and the producers and everybody are like laughing at that guy's lines and they're not laughing at your lines.
Yeah.
You're like, you know,
It gets in your head.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing what I can
Yeah.
here. Give me a break. And
Yeah.
you're laughing at this guy. And so that whole scene to me was just awful.
Yeah.
For those other people. It was
Yeah.
like, it was so unfair.
I feel like it just takes away from them because they're all putting their heart and soul into this. And Alexa, we don't know if she has a heart or soul yet, but she can dance.
She does. She had a tear.
She did.
And
She-
emotion.
And again, not to take away from the moment, because I felt it with them. It was like I saw something in her that time that wasn't there before, and it was great. But they're usually so great about keeping that stuff reserved and behind the table and not letting it get out there on stage. And the fact that they did in that moment,
Everyone was on Team Alexa. Well, and you know, interesting too. She started that whole dance, that whole cha-cha, like a little reserved, and then she had a little breakthrough all of a sudden, and you were like, "Oh, okay, there it is."
The first few seconds of it, I thought she was a crazy woman.
Yeah,
like she was just dancing out of her brain.
Stone faced. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
And then she turned her back and turned one time, gave that fierce look to that cha-cha look, and I was like, oh, she's in it now.
Yep. She did the hair, but I think also because she was partnered with Joshua, who did that horrible flip that we'll get into later, and he was bringing it. Yeah, he was giving his A game, and so she was like, oh, you're not gonna outdance me.
Yeah,
right. All of that.
Can you do that one more time for me? Oh, girl, get it. So then we move on to the contemporary round, correct?
Yes.
Travis Wall is back. I love Travis.
Who doesn't love Travis?
He's so talented.
He's actually choreographing some of the floor exercises for some of the potential Olympians on the women's gymnastics team.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. He's going to be at the Olympic trials up in San Jose in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
You know who's not going to be at the Olympic trials?
You.
Shawn Johnson.
Or me. Yes.
She wasn't
equally important. Thank you, Corrine.
I followed gymnastics. Let me tell you, she was never going to be on the team.
I know.
There's only 5 slots. She was never going to be near it.
Yeah.
Not even an alternate.
Yeah.
She wasn't ready. She had never made a comeback. So.
And she had an injury a couple years ago, and she struggled.
She made a comeback, and she's got some great sponsors as a result.
Yeah, well, good for her. She's all over the place. Nobody else has commercials on right now.
Actually, Coca-Cola is sponsoring her this year too.
Yeah. That's
good
genius.
Girl.
Well, she did Dancing with the Stars.
She won Dancing with the Stars.
She did.
Yeah, and a Dancing with the Stars winner.
Yeah,
and I have a Tide commercial.
She's fine.
A Tide commercial.
She's fine.
Although I did want to see her take down Nastia Lukin.
Nastia, I don't think it's gonna go either. So
really,
yeah.
God,
I know.
But there's so much talent though that is going.
There's so much talent. There's so much talent.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of talent on our show too. Let's get back to it.
Let's do it.
So we move on to Travis Wall. Speaking of talented, his contemporary round.
Were you guys surprised when Travis came back as a choreographer?
No.
Did he blow you away?
Yes, I thought he was great.
I thought he was great too.
I think he's
but
one of my favorite choreographers now.
Exactly, but that wasn't
season.
expected when you watched him dance, was it?
No.
Like I didn't expect somebody like him to come back and amaze me with his choreography.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't.
Did
so I was shocked. It was a pleasant surprise,
Yeah.
because he is a great dancer, but that always doesn't translate to a great choreographer.
True.
Was he? What was the number? Did he either dance in it or he choreographed it? The bench one with Heidi and was that him and Heidi, or did he choreograph that? Do you remember that seasons ago?
Yeah,
I think he choreographed it. I think that was
it.
Heidi. It was because it was Lacey's season.
Yep.
Because Heidi was the cousin to Benji.
Yes. Yep.
Right. And I think Lacey was on that season, or Danny was on the season. There's a lot of connections with those first few seasons.
Yes.
A lot of
They're all
members.
all out of Salt Lake too.
And I feel like yes.
In the ballroom.
The Salt Lake City ballroom.
We never
thing.
got that question answered either.
We didn't. Okay, if anybody out there is watching right now and you guys know, we did this last week. Nobody called.
Anybody.
Yeah. If you guys know why there are so many ballroom dancers coming out of Salt Lake City, please tell us. Our phone number is 424. Wait, I just forgot it right now. What is it? 729? No, 1729.
1729.
256 1729.
Can you give that number one more time, Marissa?
424 256 1729.
I forgot that middle part.
I knew it was 17.
But you guys have to call us and let us know because I have no idea. We can't figure this out.
I Googled it too. I could not.
Really?
There's no
Audition
Google
there.
answer.
Corinne thinks we're crazy, but there has to be a reason.
I think they just fly there to audition there to make
No,
it seem like they come at us.
They're all from there, though.
They're all from there, and the
No,
Dancing with
I
the
don't
Stars
think so.
pros, most of them are from there. Derek and Julianne Hough and
the
Mark
Osmonds. I know.
Ballas.
What do you think, Leif?
Nah, I'm going inappropriate joke route. And that's just,
Oh, Lord. I love a good inappropriate joke.
No.
Especially if it involves a Mormon.
that's what I was going to say. It's just there's so much.
and then we went into Book of
Yeah.
Mormon.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a gay Catholic. I love ripping on the Mormons. It's just fun. It's just fun for me.
I can't
So-
take you tonight.
Yeah, you can. You love me. So in Travis's contemporary round, I noticed that everybody was crying. Everybody was in love with their partner. Everybody
my
was so
nerves.
emotional. I was like, we get it. It's contemporary. You're supposed to be like, because I think you watch the show and it's like, whenever Mia Michaels choreograph something, everybody's crying about it.
Yes.
Cry.
And I'm like, okay, we get it. Contemporary.
It's one of the
criers.
dance steps.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Cry.
What were the things last week that Mary Michaels, or Mary Michaels,
The
Mary
reach.
Murphy
No
did
booty shaking.
and the other the
And
self
then
Touch yourself.
Self- yeah.
Self-indulgent touches.
self-indulgence. I feel like contemporary is very self-indulgent.
It is.
It is.
Whatever.
But I love
But in this round though, Maria, remember
Mariah.
that? Mariah.
White Crumper.
Yeah, I was thinking West Side Story. Maria. There you go.
I was surprised that they ignored her for as long as they did.
She was adorable, too.
I was waiting for them to spotlight her.
Yeah, I kept waiting for her to pop up, and I thought, well, she must have gotten cut, and they're just not addressing it. And then they showed her right there, and
Center Packin'.
And then Center Packin' was like, God.
I think she's kind of cool, too.
I liked her.
And she was good. Again, in that round, she really impressed me, and I would have liked to have seen more of her dancing, actual dancing, other than just
especially for a crumper to be doing like contemporary like that. I thought she was great.
Her lines, I mean, like her extension and her lines were a lot lower than a lot of the other dancers.
You know, how were Cyrus's lines? I mean, he doesn't have lines.
It's true. Don't talk about his lines.
We love him though.
But you know, he's special. I honestly, you know, she was good as the female crumper and everything else, but he's special. He's extraordinary, and that's why he's going through.
When you've got 20 blonde girls left, like
she wasn't extraordinary though.
They usually lock into that. Like if you're great at one thing and you can do the other stuff at least decent, they usually like that's the person we want on the show. Yeah. And that's what she seemed to be because she was great at what she did. And then in that dance, I was like, she can actually move. She has body control.
She didn't have that je ne sais quoi. She didn't have that star quality.
Well, and here's the thing: like I thought she was a good crumper. I didn't think she was a great crumper because I've seen crumpers, and she to me looked like a white girl crumping.
Well, that's exactly what it was. It was a white girl.
That's why I call her white crumper.
Well, that's right. And because she's white and you ain't. You dark skinned. So then finally, Alexa in this round, this is when Debbie Reynolds says, she's like...
Debbie Allen.
Why did I say Debbie? I just
Debbie Reynolds.
Who's Debbie Reynolds? The actress?
She's a dancer. She was a dancer too. She did musical.
Debbie Allen. I just called somebody else something else too. I used somebody else's last name wrong.
You said Maria.
No, I said somebody else's wrong last name a little bit ago.
You didn't know you asked me my last name was
I know
Williams.
your last name. What is it?
Williams.
I know
you
that.
Had it jacked up before we started.
I said it right.
No.
What is your last name?
You thought it was Jenkins or something.
No, I said William.
You're like, what's your last name again?
She's making stuff up right now. I did not say that. But no, Debbie Allen.
But Debbie Reynolds has a dance studio here in Los Angeles. So
maybe that's why.
She's saving you. She's throwing you a hook.
She saves my ass every episode because I don't really know what I'm talking about. But it turns out that I actually kind of do. I just don't have the proper verbiage for any of it.
Anything.
She makes me look phenomenal.
There you go.
We did this show for a couple weeks alone.
Oh yeah.
I was drowning. She saved me.
You were fine.
Yeah. But she says that Alexa could win the show. What do you think about that? That's quite a prediction. Then what did Tice say then?
You think?
You think?
You think?
I'm with Cyrus.
And his little scrunchy face, like, you think?
Yeah.
But that's why I like Tice, because he does, most of the judges are so kind.
Mm-hmm.
Nigel can be a little edgy, but I think, like, you know, it's good when we have Tice there, because I know people don't necessarily like his snarkiness, but we kind of need that. Because he levels, yes we do, he levels the playing field, I think, and you know, he adds a little bit of reality in there too, and you know, he's been out there as a dancer himself, so he knows what it's like to be on their side.
I mean, he's legit. A phenomenal choreographer.
You may not like his attitude, however, he knows what he's talking about.
He does, he does. And we had a couple more standouts. We had, I don't know his name, but his last name's Tashoop, so I just call him Tashoop. He was the ballet dancer.
Chinon. What's his
name?
Unreal.
What's his name?
Shaban, I think. Shaban.
Oh, what'd you say? What'd you say? You got his name wrong. Corrine Jenkins, apparently. I've never said. Yeah, he was insane.
He was like 12 feet off the ground.
Yes.
He was beautiful.
His technique was flawless.
He did grand jetés. She taught me that one week one.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But really, really flawless technique. I mean, you want to look at a really crisp, clean ballet dancer who actually can perform. That was Shaban.
And who can perform shirtless.
Yeah.
All season long,
and he had
please.
a nice body.
Yeah, he did.
Beautiful.
The thing about him, though, is I think that, like, he mentioned this, too, like, I feel like he'll have a hard time if he had to do, like, a hip-hop style, or, like, because ballet dancers are so regimented and so, like, detail-oriented.
And he's another one I don't remember them focusing on too much in the other round, so it didn't really stick out that I saw.
Sometimes, though, some of these people they put through the top 20, they don't focus on early.
Yes.
So, because they focus on other people that they know they're going to cut to build up the emotion, and then they bring in these characters and...
They're fun surprises along the way.
Yeah.
But then we also don't have that backstory, how we know all about Cyrus and Alexa.
Because they kind of want you to pull for certain people. Obviously, they want Cyrus to make it very far in the show. Yeah. And I hope that he does. And then also, at the end of the show, we lose Adrian. He got cut in season 7 at his home by Mary Murphy.
Yeah.
And then said he was... Did I mess something up?
No, I just was laughing that Mary Murphy didn't do the season and was sent to the home.
Oh, yeah.
Just to give the bad news.
Drugs and alcohol, allegedly.
No. It was
Allegedly.
I said alleged. So he gets sent home again. They called like 5 guys out of that last group, and they're like, you're all sent home.
But here's the thing. I think they probably saw that he hadn't really elevated from what he presented before, and they didn't want to keep teasing him. You know,
True.
like.
Well, and I said in the group number, I said he's the horrible hip hop dancer.
Yeah.
And I said, I can't believe that he got passed through. The whole group got passed through. But I was like, really? Because he stood out to me as a little bit sloppy and not as crisp as the rest of the group when they were doing hip hop.
Right. What did you think? Did you like him?
Yeah. I didn't love him. I didn't hate him. I just said that his mother is going to slap Nigel because
she's
she
already
was
been put
very
through it.
upset. Yeah.
Now she's going to really hate the
I
show.
know.
Well, it's always interesting to me because there's two schools of thoughts on this. Like, sometimes I see people that didn't make it through years past, and then they come back and they do make it through. So then on one hand, I'm kind of like, well, is the quality just going down because they weren't good enough last year, but now they're good enough? But then on the other side of the coin, well, maybe they did just go and get better, and they really upped, their game and came back. Yeah. I don't know that he really did that though. He looked
a little sloppy to me. I actually thought he looked better in the audition round. Did he come out of Salt Lake?
Yeah, no, he was.
I think he's from Los Angeles and went to Salt Lake. I don't feel like he was in Los Angeles, but
probably a smart move, easier to get through in one of those other cities, maybe.
Wherever he was, I actually felt like he looked sharper on his solo than he did in these audition rounds.
Well, these audition rounds in Vegas wear you down. So I mean, I can't even imagine getting through those days.
No.
You know what I was wondering? I just thought of this. What happened to the guy, the ballet dancer from Cincinnati with the hair and the crazy face? Where'd he go? Remember, he had a terrible, terrible, terrible audition, and they let him dance a second time, and then he nailed it. Remember him?
Oh,
yes.
A few weeks ago.
Where is he?
I didn't see him.
Gone.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal. I thought they were going to make a big deal out of him.
Yeah, I guess not.
I didn't see him anywhere. Like, did he just not go to Vegas?
Don't you think that sometimes they plug people into dance companies or what have you? Mm-hmm. Because some good people who are actually go to choreo maybe in this season and past seasons, then you're like, geez, why didn't they make it?
Right.
But I feel like, hey,
it's possible.
I got to connect for you at a dance school somewhere.
So he didn't even go. Oh, so we got it narrowed down to 35 now. We've only got 20 spots for the actual show. We've got 35 right now.
Yes.
And of course, they don't tell us who the top 20 are yet.
No, I started writing down my top 20, and then they're like, next week. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. So we have to wait another week, and we're gonna
limp
hang in there, for one more week. We're gonna sit here and talk to Leif for just a little bit about some stuff he's got going on, some exciting stuff. We're gonna make some predictions. We're gonna do that after we go to a commercial break.
Nice.
Hey there, good buddies. The handle's Woolly Bear. I'm a truck driving man, but I'm not that old school kind of truck driving man, no. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving through these great United States of ours. And my favorite podcasts in the world are from AfterBuzz TV. And why? Because AfterBuzz TV is like a post-game wrap-up show for all your favorite TV shows, like Jersey Shore, Dancing with the Stars, Mad Men, and a whole truckload more. I like listening to my Gossip Girl podcast, catching up with all my fellow fans and getting all the latest news and gossip. No, I got some strong opinions. And AfterBuzz TV lets me share those opinions with thousands of other listeners. Woo-wee, what a feeling. I used to doze off on those lonely stretches of road. And don't worry, I got the cruise control. But now I'm wide awake and listening to all the AfterBuzz TV goodness. Check them out, give them a holler, and tell them the old Woolly Bear sent you.
Tell him the old Woolly Bear sent you. That commercial will never get old to me.
Woolly Bear.
I love it every time. Thank you so much, Marissa. I appreciate that. So, like I said, we've got Leif here in the studio. We thank you for being here.
Thanks.
We have some stuff we want to talk to you about, though. All right. You play a bad guy.
Yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man coming out, July 3rd? Is that correct?
July 3rd.
That's a big weekend. That's a big reboot.
It is.
What was it like? You play a character. Your character's name is Glasses?
Yeah.
And you're wearing glasses. How appropriate. Thank you for coming in character.
Yeah.
What was it like being on a film set of that magnitude? It doesn't get any bigger.
It doesn't. And the whole time, every corner just blows you away.
Yeah.
You know? But working's great, but yes, walking on a set like that, you can't imagine. And everybody's working everywhere you look, and things are happening, and yeah.
Where'd you guys shoot?
I shot here in LA, and I spent some time in New York too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In Queens, we were shooting.
Yeah.
Queens.
Yeah.
What was the vibe like? Was there a lot of excitement on set? Like, I mean, to reboot such a huge franchise so quickly, is it daunting or is it exciting? Like, what was the vibe?
It's funny because I've done a lot of films, and the films they always have their own personality, and you always feel like those type of films, those $200+ million films, there has to be all this added pressure and there has to be all this stress associated with it. But then you walk on set and yes, everything's bigger and there's more people, but it's still just people making a movie, you know, and people are excited to be there and they're having fun. And like my favorite part is when I first got cast and I went to set the first day, this person, you know, this PA is walking me through the lot. I'm on Sony, and then all of a sudden we go into one of the sets, and there's just this huge, massive set in every square inch of this lot, and they walk you through it, and there's people running around, and there's this and that happening, and they walk you all through this, and it's just. They take you to Video Village, and there's sitting Mark Webb, and he's just got his feet kicked back, and he's just, and the person goes, "That's Mark, a director," and he goes, "Hey, man," and I was like, "Hey."
That's so wild.
And I was like, I'm gonna love this guy. This is the best guy in the world, and that's the entire vibe for the entire shoot.
Well, it sounds like a positive experience for you.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was so much fun.
Did you see Emma Stone? Did you say what's up? Hey, girl.
Yeah.
Look at he got goofy.
Yeah.
He's like, wow.
I think
She's
Emma
kind of
probably
the it
makes a
girl.
lot of guys goofy.
Well, I want to know. Let's hear about the gossip. Did you see Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone
I did not.
falling in love?
I did not. No, that was
Good question.
process.
But they are in love now.
They are in
Yeah.
love.
They're very cute the way when
Yeah.
you see them
Adorable.
together. Yeah.
I was so a year or two ago. I was so anti this whole Spider-Man thing. I was frustrated because I was like, I'm like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. He just is, period. And I couldn't envision it at all because I was so attached to those films. I loved them so much, even the last one, whatever. But I loved them so much, and now I'm so excited already. Which breaks my heart because I was also so attached to the X-Men films, and all of a sudden they came out with a new one, and I'm like, okay, now I love the new cast. So it's interesting. Like it's if this does well, and I'm sure it will, they're going to start rebooting all these films so quickly, and they already kind of are.
I mean, when you're talking about the haters. When I was first cast, because again, who am I really in the big scheme of things? But my name appears on IMDb, and the next day there's like blogs about me and just ripping me apart. Who the hell is this guy? Blah blah blah.
That's
And
so wild.
they're like character glasses. What do they play? What does he play? Peter Parker's glasses in the movie.
I would have no problem with that role.
There were all these theories, ever since I got cast. There's just been all this theory surrounding what I'm doing, why I'm there.
That's crazy. Well, congratulations,
Yeah.
and we'll have to check it out.
You
July
gotta
3rd,
show 'em.
everyone. It's gonna be a big one. It's
Everyone
gonna
will
be a
be
big
there.
one. You also write and direct for the Acme Theater on the Brea, I hear.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about that. You have a little show you do called Hollywood Saturday Night.
Hollywood Saturday Night. It's a sketch comedy show, very similar to another sketch comedy show on NBC. We have a celebrity guest come in, and we write a whole new show every 2 weeks is our schedule now. Yeah, we have a guest band that comes in.
That's cool.
It's a lot of fun, and we broadcast it live online.
Oh, really?
On Saturday nights, yeah.
How do you get tickets? How do you get tickets for that? Like, if I want to go see a show, how would I get tickets? Is there a website? Do you guys have it?
If you go to HollywoodSaturdayNight.com, I think all the info is there.
I
and
hear that
then-
you've had Leah Thompson on before.
Yeah, Leah's hosted twice.
Really?
Yeah, she's great.
I love her. I saw her on Broadway in Cabaret back in like 1999 or 2000.
Yeah.
I was in love with her. She's phenomenal. I'm a big Back to the Future
Oh,
fan.
it's
so.
the
it's
first
a good series.
The first time she hosted it was great because I wrote a video sketch that we shot together, and this was even before we had started pitching for the show. We just wrote the sketch and we started shooting it, and so I got to sit beside her the whole shoot and just pick her brain. And I think one of the most memorable things I had was, in my head I'm complaining about my options career-wise, like I don't
Like
have
every
much.
actor in LA.
Yeah, and then she's complaining about the same thing, and I'm like,
It's no different.
at no level
It
does
never
it change.
changes. No.
Never changes.
Who is your favorite celebrity guest that's ever worked with your group?
I mean, she's awesome. Robert Forster was pretty cool. John Hawkes was a lot of fun to work with.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. It's just everybody comes in with their own personality, and that's what's the funnest part because it's different every time.
Right. It's got to be a great feeling to be able to create like that as an artist, to be able to create something like that.
And most of them come in there just eager and just want to have the experience and the fun, and so it's just this great kismet, this great sense of community as everybody's working together to do
Well,
this
now I
one
have
thing.
something new to try out on a Saturday night. I'm kind of
I
excited
know,
about
I
that.
love
I love
it.
that. I'm always looking for something new.
Unfortunately, we're on hiatus
For
3
how
months.
long? For 3 months? I got look. It's the summer. I don't go out in the summer. I'm on the beach in the summer, so we got plenty of time.
I hope John Hawkes comes back. I have a weird crush on him.
Oh, he's great.
you do.
You know, he was because I directed that show, and that was like one of the first times that I had directed one of the sketch shows, and he was so insecure.
Really?
Yeah, like he was constantly like he needed reassurance from me. You know, like he needed my help, which I was like blown away.
Sounds
'cause
like
that-
Corrine. She's very
Yeah.
insecure as well.
But
Please.
but the nicest guy in the world, just the nicest guy in the world, just humble and appreciates everything that he has. Like at the time, he hadn't quite, you know, he wasn't Oscar nominee. He wasn't any of that stuff yet. He had done Deadwood. He was on the HBO show.
Come on, Kristen.
I know. I'm like,
Eastbound and Down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, we wanted to write Deadwood sketches, you know, because that's what he was mostly known for at the time. But he was like, "Look, that shows a special place in my heart. I don't really want to throw it under the bus." And you're like, "I can appreciate that.
That's cool.
I can, you know, that he didn't want to make fun of the thing that helped get him there.
Of course.
He was.
I love.
Nice.
We talk about this a lot on this show. I love anybody who appreciates an opportunity.
Yeah.
When people are very appreciative of it, it melts my heart.
And people haven't seen him. Winter's Bone, which is what he was nominated
Yes.
for. He's fantastic in.
He's
And
amazing.
Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene. That came out last year
Yeah.
with Elizabeth Olsen.
Good. You're all over it.
He's actually making a film right now with a friend of mine that's producing it, and she says, she talks about
phenomenal.
Well, I love when
great he
good
is.
things happen to good people.
Yes. That's
So
what's up.
that's
And he's a good
fantastic. Fantastic. Well, let's go
think
on.
he's
Let's.
sexy.
Do we have any other news and gossip? Do you have
Love
anything?
him.
I think you have a little bit, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Now you do.
this really falls more on the gossip side than the news side, but this just makes this. You've been dying to share this. Go ahead.
Say it, girl.
What happened with Rock of Ages, you guys? It
Nobody saw it.
bombed.
That's what happened.
I saw it.
Oh, poor
I did
Adam
the
Shankman.
I know.
But you didn't pay to see it.
No, I did
You
not.
reviewed it.
I went to the press screening and I
Yes.
interviewed the
Free.
cast.
So they didn't make $1 off of you, so you don't count.
She didn't see it
I
like
have a
we didn't
feeling.
see it.
I feel like they were selling it wrong. Am I right or not?
They were, and you know, the interesting thing is Shankman was like, "This is like the dude's musical," but you know, guys under
Is
you
there
know,
such a thing?
no.
I think there is.
Avenue Q, I think is a good one.
don't know.
Book of Mormon's a good one.
Avenue Q is kind of
have
genius.
no
Yeah,
idea.
it is.
Jersey Boys.
Jersey Boys.
Jersey Boys. I think you could get.
I
some
saw that in
guys going
Vegas.
Hedvig? No.
No.
Never
But
heard of it.
I think something to think about is that
Making angry.
the viewers that went to see it, the audience that went to see it, they were between 30 and 45 because they lived through that era, and it didn't appeal to a younger generation, so they didn't show up. Tom Cruise is great in the movie.
I
honestly.
actually heard good things about the film.
I've heard good
I
things
didn't-
about
Everyone I
him.
know that saw it,
Yeah.
Him.
everyone I know that saw it came out of there and said, "I loved the movie," and I loved it. I really had ain't nothing but a good time,
That's
you know.
right.
But yeah,
I'll get it on Redbox for $1.19
Exactly.
It's like-
on Blu-ray.
I'll come over. and
The
watch
thing
it.
is, everybody's talking about how great Tom Cruise is. He was hardly in any of the trailers. Like,
Yeah.
other than his
That's so
name
true.
on the title, you really didn't know much about what he was doing in the film.
And him doing this.
And so I think
Yeah.
I think ultimately what people walked away from the trailers going is he makes a cameo appearance.
Yeah.
You know,
A
and
la
that's-
Tropic Thunder or
Yeah.
like one of those types of things.
and they did try and sell it on Julianne Hough, and I've got to say, because this is her third big film in a row, she is not that charismatic on screen. She's not that great an actress. I'm sorry, but she was kind of bland in the film, and I thought she's
And
bland
she's
and
so,
burlesque.
she's so pretty. She's a
She's
phenomenal
cute.
dancer. She's a good singer. Like, stick to those things, maybe.
Her singing in this movie was
What
Really?
about her
Not good.
stripper pole move drop that she did on the pole, or dropped it like
yeah.
a
I mean,
top on somebody?
it was really not really. It was inconsequential to the
Right.
story kind of thing at that point.
Good
you know?
75-cent word. Inconsequential.
Right, look it up.
All right, well, let's jump right into predictions for next week. We've got some.
The biggest AfterBuzz TV news.
That sounded like a new.
Now, your
That was the
AfterBuzz
remix.
That is the remix. I'm not mad at the remix. All right, let's go, Corrine. What you got?
Oh, so my top 20 sci-fi.
You're going to go through 20 names right
No,
now?
I'm just saying
okay.
sci-fi and Alexa.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I don't remember
Yeah.
anybody.
That's
oh, and
easy.
Amelia.
Oh yeah. See, those are the people. This was the Cyrus, Alexa, and Amelia show. So
So we remember. I think we'll see the belly dancer,
Yeah.
which is Janelle. I think she's gonna
love her.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see. We talked a little bit about this when we were watching the show. What's going to happen with our two blonde Salt Lake City ballroom dancers, Whitney
besties.
Yeah.
Friends
and
since 9.
what's the other one? Whitney and Lindsay.
yeah, that's my prediction.
They're very similar.
My prediction will come down to those two girls for the 10th spot, and they will cut one of them. They do this sort of thing every single season.
Yep.
I think it'll come down to them. And they're roommates. They've known each other since they were 9 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little.
They're going to make it a sob
How about
story.
you, Leif? You're the resident expert. What do you think?
Oh, you mean different than what you guys have said?
Yeah,
I
anything?
don't really have anything else because
No?
I think, again, this episode was just kind of setting us up for all those storylines to just
Right.
kind of pay off there.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to tune in next week.
We're limping to Los Angeles.
We're limping to I don't think that's where they want the show to be going. We're limping to Los Angeles. Fantastic. Well, we look forward to episode 6.
Do you think that they might keep them both in that moment?
I don't know.
Which
No.
they've done in
Maybe.
the past.
Maybe. Oh,
Whitney's
they have done it in
gonna
the
go
past.
first.
Yep.
We'll see. We want to thank you again for stopping by, Leif.
Thanks, Leif.
We want to thank the rest
Thank
of you
you.
guys for stopping by. Make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place. We'll see you later.
Tweet us.
Oh, Twitter. Oh, Lord. I didn't give a Twitter.
Oh,
I just bombed right now.
At
Underscore
Kristyn Burtt.
underscore AJ Gibson.
Just saying 08. Holla.
Prez of Moon. Prez of Moon.
Well, there it is. Thanks for stopping by, guys. See you later.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. And make sure you guys check out Leif on The Amazing Spider-Man coming out July 3rd. Have a good night, you guys.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.